Hey, we're recording.
All right. So what we're going to do is everyone's going to review their person for D and E. Like I have Scott. I'll start with Scott. I'll do his artifact D and artifact E, and then I'll move to Tammy. I cannot share the screen today because my computer is messing up. So, all right. With the marketing plan with D for Scott. I thought it looked good as far as your sources. I know we kind of need to move fast because we have four peer reviews for everyone. So I thought you always do a great job with your external sources and tying those into the overall artifact with your marketing plan. I thought you did really well with that. You stated the purpose, and that's what I struggled with the most at the very start. I was like, what am I doing a marketing plan on? So I thought you and Tammy both did a great job with that. It was clear throughout that you worked with your PLC, and the only red that I put in this review would be to just add a communication email. Like just show proof, because you had to have communicated with them. Just show proof of that. My reviewers always give me a hard time about that. It's like my clinical coach. Show proof that you're actually communicating. I thought it was a well-organized plan as far as you took it a little further, and I think that's put you into the accomplished area was the room for improvement, and you did that really well with especially adding in different ways that parents and students could access through like technology. So you had a lot of different technology points there for your room for improvement. Quality of work, I thought it was good. I really struggled with this one, so maybe I'm being too nice to you on this, but I thought your quality was good. Grammar is always great. I take lessons from that. Your format was well organized with your subheadings and your headings. I thought that looked good. Descriptors were met, and they were placed in after your works cited, which looked good, and throughout the artifact. So really with this one, my only suggestion would be is to add a communication email if you have one. And I know you do somewhere probably. So just add that in there.
That's for D?
Yeah, for D.
And that last section when I bolded stuff, did that help?
Yeah. Was that for your implementation plan?
No, I just put in in bold, like the, what am I trying to say? I put in bold like the successes, failures.
Oh, yeah.
You could find it easier. I didn't do that throughout the whole. I only did it on the one. Did that help?
No, that helped a lot. It just made it more, I guess, obvious. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back and do that for each section.
Yeah, that was good. And then on your E, so this to me is more of it was hard for me to review because it's just a summary of what you did. And it's like your process, like what you did throughout. So I think it's more of a reflection piece for us to reflect on what we've done. But as far as formatting, that was my biggest issue with yours. You bolded those, I think the rubric called them activities, like, let's see. Let me try to find what I'm trying to talk about. So I'm looking at the rubric, the part where it said like your decision points, your conflicts, your resolutions, your successes and failures, you had them. It was just they were just bolded like in the middle of a paragraph or something. I would just make those a subheading. So it's like, I don't know, you have for artifact A for this SCIP, and you talk all about it and you put those as subheadings. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was saying. Did that help that when it was in bold or no?
It did help, but I would make them. So this is on your E now. I would make it like a separate heading.
Okay.
Just to make it more aware. But I did like the bold. I thought it was fine. That's just a suggestion. I thought your, let's see, really with E, that's all that really I saw was just those boldings. It helped, but make them a subheading in a separate part. Your references, this is a part that I noticed in your process journal that you did really well. You included all your references that you used throughout, which was good. But just for room for improvement, just add those side headings, really, subheadings. And that's what I have for you, Scott. Anything on that, or you want me to keep rolling, Tammy?
I think I'm good. I think I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Let me move to Tammy. How are you, Tammy?
I'm fine. How about you?
Good. My arm's getting tired from holding up my phone. All right. So with your marketing plan, very detailed and organized. The first part of the rubric where it says state your purpose, like I was saying with Scott's, you had your purpose right at the very top and it was clear. Your implementation of the plan, like how you would actually implement the plan, not just make it and say, all right, here's my marketing plan, but you really showed how you would implement it. Only suggestion would be to show how you communicated with your PLC or whoever you worked with, because I think that's what they want to see. They want to see us working with people, whether that's, like I was telling Scott, communication email or meeting minutes to a meeting that you had with your group, whatever it might be. Organization, explain the, so I put in red, explain the purpose. So those tables that you included, they were great, but just like a couple sentences explain what they are. And that was it for your marketing plan. I thought that was really well. You utilized external references, stated your purpose. So I thought it was very clear and detailed. You always have detailed work. You do a great job. Makes me want to go back and completely change mine.
Thank you.
And then let's see, for your E, I hope I'm not moving too fast.
No.
Can y'all hear me all right with all this in the background?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. For your E, great job with the whole narrative. I thought it was great. You put those areas of improvement, which were awesome. You reflected on your work very well. You cited your sources. I tried my hardest to find something that I could tell you to improve on your process journal, but compared to mine, I just couldn't really find anything. It was organized. You had the proper the subheadings and headings is what really helps me, because when I'm looking down the rubric, I can just see, like, all right, she's got this, she's got that, and kind of do the checkbox deal. So nice work with that. You had your descriptors in there. Your works cited page was clear. Quality of work was great. So overall, with your process journal, I thought it looked really good. So, the only thing with the marketing plan would be just to show that communication.
Okay. Okay.
But nice work to both of y'all. Sorry if I flew through that.
No problem. No problem.
Who wants to go next?
You're the boss.
I'll go next because I did Scott and Tammy as well, so I could just sort of piggyback. So sorry. So I can just piggyback off of Jake, if that's okay. Sorry, my child came running in here for something. Okay, so I will start with D, and I'll start with Scott. And really, the only thing I really want to say about this artifact, other than you did a great job, and you really did hit all the rubric part, is just that community piece. If you can pull in anything about how what you're doing is going to bring them in, maybe give some critical thinking about how what it is that you're doing is going to cause them to be engaged with the school. Okay, so if you can say through these, we are looking for, even if you set up some goals, some specific goals about like through these
Please, thank you.
Twitter,
Sorry.
we expect to engage, our goal is to engage 50, get 50 followers or something. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. It's with our school though. It's historically like we have no parental involvement. A lot of it is the reason is because that's why the kids are there. You know what I mean? So we're looking at. I can't even speculate because we never know how something's gonna go over with parents. So sometimes we send stuff out. We don't even have one rule. So.
And we don't have a whole lot either. That's one reason we always offer food and drinks because a lot of times it will bring them. That's one reason when we kind of came up with our ideas for the read-in and the workshop of feeding them is because a lot of times when we advertise that there will be like dinner for them, they will come.
Yep.
But even if you can say how you think, how you theoretically feel that these things would engage the community, it might just make it a little, it might make, because we are focusing on external stakeholders with this component, it just might make that a little bit stronger.
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Say again?
Interrupt for a minute. Can I say something?
Yes.
Scott, when she was talking about, you know how a lot of times we have to have measurable, something that we can measure? Isn't that what you're talking about, Kim?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get a low number. I mean, if, say you have 100 students, say you want 20% participation, but then when it doesn't happen, you can actually go back, because we're going to have to redo these artifacts at the end. You can go back and add improvement. That's an evaluation where you can say there's room for improvement. Maybe we should try what Kim suggested, offer food the next time.
Yeah.
That'll make your paper look better.
I understand what she's saying. I get it.
Yeah, and I don't know that it'll make or break that component. I don't think that. But I just think that because that is what the focus is for this component, it might strengthen it.
Cool.
And then for your E, I do like that you bolded the words. I think that I think it's just a preference of organization, and I don't know that you need to go back and organize it differently. But if you sort of chunked like your conflicts of all your different parts, and then your resolutions all your different parts, and your successes of all your different parts, and your failures of all your different parts. It sort of talked about like, here's my failures, and then here's the different failures that happen within the different activities. It might just streamline it and make it a little more. It might flow a little better, or it might be, and I'm just thinking about for the reader's sake. I don't know really who's reading this. I think it might just make it so that they can pick up on it a lot easier and not have to pick through and say, okay, did he hit the weakness for this one? Did he hit the weakness for this one? Did he hit the strength for this one? Did he hit the success?
The thing is, though, in each section, I highlighted those things for that section.
It does help. That did help.
What I'm saying though is like for yours, for example, I was lost as to what happened, because there was no skip A, skip B, skip C, skip D.
Right.
So that's why I did it that way, is that that this was the success, failure stuff for skip A, and then this was for skip B. And this,
right.
I just didn't bold it until I skipped D. I didn't think about it until then, and I wanted your guys' opinion about it. I mean, I'm really not going to reorganize the entire paper. I'll take your suggestion for what it is, but to me that's just personal preference. Just like yours was, I like the way it was organized, but like I said in your review, I don't know what happened in skip A, skip B, skip C, and skip D.
Mm-hmm.
One, because I'm not familiar with it, and two, because I didn't see it in the section that you had set up. So once again, I think it just comes down to personal preference. I don't know if I don't think there's a right or a wrong way.
I just spoke with Dr. Neal this past week about I had some work get kicked back on TaskStream, and I talked to my clinical coach, and he said he looked over it and he goes, I don't see why it would have gotten kicked back. And then I emailed Dr. Neal and spoke with him a bit, and he said, you know what, we're really trying to tell these reviewers that nothing's going to be cookie cutter. It's not going to look the same. It's all, I mean, we all experience something different at school, so it shouldn't be the same. And even with format, he's like, there's no one way for it to be right. So,
right. No, I value everybody's suggestions. Trust me, I will go back and make some changes. But to me, the way that I operate, that's why I did it that way. So, But
I do think it helps, Scott.
Okay.
And that's why I said, be true to you. If that's what works for you and you feel like you've got all the components there and that the reader will be able to figure them out no matter who it is. I mean, I know what I'm looking for because I'm also writing it. Right. But I don't know what reader will be reading it. And I was just thinking if you had a little subheading like weaknesses and then you listed them, it might make it a little more obvious to the reader because there is a subhead in there that's what we're going to talk about. But that's totally up to you. So that's the only thing I had for E. And then I'm going to move on to Tammy because I know that we are running low on time and we've got all these components. Tammy, the only thing I really had for yours was just if you had any evidence of your meetings, like an agenda or meeting minutes or anything like that, maybe add that to your artifact part just to show that evidence is there. I thought your research was really good, as well as Scott's. Both of you are very strong in implementing that. And that's really, and the only thing is if you did use research in your E, which I do believe you did, maybe do your in-text citation of where you had that.
Okay.
Because I think it was there. And I did see your references at the end of your paper, and I'm guessing that they were in your intro, but I wasn't sure because there was no citation that you had used research. So maybe just add that in there if you have it.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Tammy, you want to go next or you want me to go next?
It doesn't matter. It's up to you, boss.
Go, Scott.
I'm not the boss of anybody.
You will be one day.
All
That's right.
I don't know why this is not coming up when I do it. So I guess we're not sharing screens today. So I'll just power through what I got. Jake, I had you for D and E.
All right.
Hang on, let me pull it up real quick. It's not letting me share screen. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So for Jake, I had you got lots of good information in your paper. I would include a research component if you feel like you should. Your statement of purpose, make sure that jumps out at the reader. For like I saw that you had a focus point for the marketing plan, but it was like further down into the evidence. I would bring that to the forefront,
Okay.
If you want to.
Okay.
And then your goals are down there. Once again, I think it's just a preference and organization like we were talking about. The quality of your work is always good. I see all the problem solving and critical thinking. I would just look back and make sure that you highlight and align it with the rubric, with headings and just the organization of the paper. Shuffling some things around, I say in the next one would help.
Okay.
And I'm familiar with some of your stuff because of reading it last semester. but I think that a reviewer might have difficulty finding some of the components, you know?
Okay. Yep.
That was about what I had for D. You have anything?
Right. No, I think that's good. Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking over it as you talk.
Okay, cool. Well, if you have any questions about it, let me know, and I can elaborate on what I'm trying to say if you don't understand.
I got you.
You included your external sources. What I would do is make sure that you elaborate on how you utilize that for decisions and the purpose of the journal. I had a tough time finding information on a purpose journal, but I did find a lot of information in the journal to kind of highlight the research and lead the PLC from that, you know.
Okay.
Rubric. Yeah, I said I'm familiar with how your things unfolded because I've been reading them for the last 2 semesters. I would use terms and activities, decision points, kind of the same stuff you guys were telling me. Make sure that you bring that to the forefront of the paper. Maybe change how the things are labeled in your resource identification. The visual is great. Highlight those sections. Like I have a visual also with those the terms in it.
Right.
In mind that I think that chart helps kind of pull it all together. If you have
it does.
Yeah. Highlight your lessons learned and successes. Once again, that can be solved with just moving some things around in a heading. All right, we have 10 minutes left.
Gosh.
Okay, I'll focus on the organization and terminology. Did notice a few of the wording things, but you already knew that. Touched on would be aligning with the headings, and that was the biggest thing for me. Is just how you kind of unfolded it with your headings. And other than that, I think you always do a good job. I think it's easy fixes. You just got to go back and go through it.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
And then I had Kim. Kim, I really don't have anything to say about your D. Your D was probably like the best artifact or evidence I've read yet. It was dead on. Your titles, guys. If you have any thoughts about D, I would look at hers because I can't think of anything that I would.
Thank you. I'm sure there's something wrong.
I didn't see anything. I don't think that I would change on the D. Now, as far as your E, once again, it's going to come. The only thing that I saw for E was the organization of it, and that was because that's how you wanted to do it, and then I did mine the way I wanted to do it.
I get it.
So.
And that's the one thing I remember Dr. Neal saying that first class. He kept saying, there's more than one way to get somewhere. You can get to the same place, but there's a lot of different paths. And he said, so go with what works for you.
Yeah. So
and I do that.
For Jake and Kim, minor things will help your stuff out. But I really don't have anything else. I think you guys did a good job.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Tammy.
All right, Kim, I'm going to start with you since he just finished with you. Your D, excellent. I really, you notice what I put in the comments. I love the way you are involving parents in the community, become involved and motivated to help children read. You had a great narrative. It was very self-explanatory. I know exactly what your focusing goal was. I don't see anything that really needs to be changed. You hit all of the components you were supposed to, the purpose, your opportunities, the implementation, the timeline. I just couldn't find anything wrong with it. It was great.
Well, thanks. I need to go back and add a little bit of research. That's what I feel like. I have a couple things in there that I have kind of just gained from general knowledge, but I'm gonna cite a couple of them.
So if you do, it'll just make it even better. But I mean, it's very good as it is right now. As for your E, the only thing I saw was when you started it, you talked about the way I understood it was that our journal process was supposed to be how we went about, not the ending, the implementation. And I noticed you talked about your first Scip meeting, but I didn't see in there where you had any more.
Yes, I am going to go back. That was a good piece of feedback. I'm going to go back and elaborate a little bit on those other pieces. I think I kind of talked about a little bit, maybe a specific weakness. And I kind of put it in the timeline that when we had certain things that we were discussing, there was a concern or a failure or a success. But I'm going to add a little meat of that part in my narrative.
That's really the only thing I noticed, that you did reflect on the actual activities and opportunities, but getting it into place, what you and your team did. Other than that, I mean, it was good. What's my other one? Jake. All right, Jake. If you notice, your D. I didn't see anything wrong with it. You saw my comment. It's fantastic. It's a workable plan. I saw the community involvement. In addition to the school, you put a lot of thought and effort into it. Good luck. I know middle school is very, very difficult to control the behavior of those ramping hormones. That's why I'm not in the middle school.
Yes.
I mean, it really takes a lot. I do understand that, but you succeeded in your the requirements of the rubric. You focused on the concept. You had the needs assessment, the data, the organizational analysis, the identification. You included a lot of various sources of media. I really had not thought of the brochure until I saw yours. That was a great idea, and I might steal it.
Well, take it. You run with it.
Okay. But it was very professional. You can tell you're a perfectionist.
Oh.
The only thing is, go back to page 5, go to the second line, reread that.
Okay.
I think the noun verb.
I'm sure there's a lot of that throughout.
That's the one I saw, as a 5th grade teacher, we read but that is the only thing. It was just those two, and I said, I read it 5 or 6 times, that line, to make sure I wasn't reading it wrong. But you can read it right, leave it.
Okay. Thank you.
So, no problem. And then Scip E, I didn't find any problems with that. Your collaboration and your reflections with all of your members, it shows that all of you are on top, you're involved. To me, you're motivated. You're working toward a goal of improvement, and if it happens, the end improvement is student achievement, which is the basis of all these plans. So I really didn't see anything in yours. I thought it was great.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy.
All right, that's everybody. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now, okay?
Sounds good.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add?
I think that's it.